Hey everybody, finally getting around to using my Briggs and Stratton electric pressure washer. I did finally get a brass fitting, quick disconnect fitting for the front. It's to protect the plastic threads on the front of this original unit. Here has plastic fitting on here, and I put nylon tape around the inside of this brass fitting and screwed it in permanently, so that's never going to come off, so hopefully I never have a problem with stripped threads. The other end is on the hose here. Another thing to note is, obviously, to use a pressure washer, you have to have ample pressure in your garden hose. You don't want weak pressure because you'll burn out your pump. The cord assembly, it's all nice and well kept. Has a quick release mechanism right here where I can just unclip it, get my whole cord off, ready to go. It's got a special box under here which protects the GFI plug, which I also like. Alright, so here's the plug that comes with it. Big old GFI, as you can see in the size of my hand, it's quite large. It feels very sturdy. There's a rubber gasket around the whole thing, so it feels watertight. Obviously you should test and reset your GFI every time you use it, just to be sure that it works. Okay, so one thing to note about this unit, which I kinda like and I kinda don't like, is when you hook up water pressure, as you can see I have very good pressure, the water automatically purges itself through this hose and everything. And I actually thought this was a quick release fitting similar to the style of this, where water would not escape unless the other end was being pressured. So it actually just squirts water no matter what, which is kind of weird. But I'll show you what I mean. It's kind of weird, but I guess you got to hook it up to the gun before you turn this on. Alright, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and hooked everything up and the water's not leaking. You have to pull the trigger to make it leak, which obviously you want to do to make sure all the air is out of the pump before you use it. I've been asked by a user if the wands were going to be interchangeable with a Karcher or any other wands, but here's what the tip of the wand looks like for the Briggs and Stratton, and here's a Karcher wand. So as you can see, they're quite different. If your wand looks like that, it's probably close enough to work. I've seen another wand on one of my other power washers that I can't find right now that looks like it would probably fit this same style, but this one obviously won't work. It goes in and twists and it's locked in. Alright, so as you can see right now, the unit is fully pressurized. It is on, it has water, and it does in fact work. It's fairly quiet. It's not very loud. It's definitely not as loud as a gas motor, which is pretty nice. One thing to note is you could run this in your basement, unlike a gas motor, and not kill yourself from carbon monoxide poisoning, which is, you know, always a bonus. One thing I mentioned before in my unboxing video was leaking. As you can see, it's at full pressure right now and there's no leaks at this quick disconnect fitting. The other leak point I was concerned about was in here, which, as you can hear or can't hear, it is not leaking. So yeah, so far so good. So here we go. We're going to try it with the red pressure washer nozzle, the turbo, and we're going to try cleaning off my off-road lawnmower here, which has got dirt that's been caked onto it for approximately a year or two, maybe more. But it definitely needs a good bath, and we're going to try degreasing the engine and see what happens. So as you can see, that actually works pretty fast. Most of the dirt is pretty much gone. I'm sure there's some residual dirt left behind that you can't see until it dries. But I use minimal water. I guess I probably didn't even use a gallon of water doing that right there, and I cleaned probably half my tractor already. And it's better than any garden hose would have done with 15 gallons of water. So I'm going to go ahead and wash the rest of this thing down real quick, and we'll try degreasing the motor. Alright, so now I've got the yellow tip on here, which is the adjustable tip and the tip that you would use when you're using your detergent. You adjust it by spinning back and forth, and I'll demonstrate how it's adjustable right now. As you can see, it goes from a quite a wide fan, almost 180 degrees it seems, to a pencil point which would probably rip skin off your hand. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and try and degrease this thing. As you can see, it's pretty dirty in there. It's caked on grease. It's been there for a very long time, so I'm going to run the degrease over it, let it set for a minute, and then try and pressure spray it off and see what happens. As you can see, I got the yellow tip. To activate the detergent, you have to turn the detergent on the unit and select your strength and pull this forward and adjust your spray pattern. Here we go. Right now the detergent's on full strength. It's just going to take a second to get to the nozzle. Okay, so now that I've sprayed the degreaser on, I'm going to go ahead and try and spray it off. It's been sitting on there for probably 5 minutes. And I'm going to adjust this spray pattern to pretty sharp, maybe 1 inch wide, and I'm going to hold it probably 3 inches away from the metal and see how it sprays. I'll zoom in here so you can see how it sprays as well. Okay, so we know it works good on grease and dirt. We're going to see how it works on concrete, or as some of you have, stucco. I'm going to use the turbo nozzle, the red one, for this, and we're going to give it a go. Same turbo nozzle. I'm going to see how it does against old weathered cedar shingles and see what it does. Pretty good difference there. Alright, so now we're going to test and see how powerful this pencil point nozzle is on this. I got it set to full stream, and I'm going to point it right at the cedar shingle and see what kind of damage it does. Well, it's kind of wet out here getting on my camera. But as you can see, it dug right in to the cedar shingle, no problem. So all in all, I'm actually very impressed with the unit. It's quiet, it works quickly, it has a lot of pressure, there's no leaks, it's very easy to use. I really like that this hose reel is collapsible, that you can actually pack it away, and that you can wind your hose right up and it stays right here on the pressure washer. You don't have to coil it up and hang it up somewhere else. But all in all, this thing gets a thumbs up from me. I really like it. I'm going to try to make it last as long as possible by not letting it freeze. But it uses the same kind of pump that gas pressure washers use, so it should last quite a long time. So yeah, if you're thinking about buying one of these, I say go for it. I bought this one for $200 at Tractor Supply Company. I got a warranty on it. I forget how much it was, but they gave me 3 years for like $50 or $40 or something like that, so I bought it. It seems like a very good buy. It bores through cedar shingles, it cleans concrete. You could probably peel paint with it. It cleans grease quite well. Obviously cleans mud and will easily clean a car in a short amount of time. I highly recommend this thing. I really like it, and I hope it gives me many years of good use. So hopefully this video helped you if you're thinking about buying one of these or looking into electric pressure washers in general and comparing them to gas pressure washers. This is a very, very good little pressure washer. So thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you later.